The
Yeah,
way of the
please, go
water has just gotten closer to the 2 billion mark.
It's gonna do it quite clearly.
Yeah.
Is this film actually good? Because
Yeah, it's good. It's definitely good. It's definitely good. I'd be surprised if somebody saw the whole thing, walked away, and was like, "What a piece of shit!" Like, it's definitely not. You know,
I think it's well crafted.
I watched the whole movie and didn't realize I was watching Kate Winslet through a fair amount of it because they're all mocapped.
oh well, that's all right then.
Yeah, didn't James Cameron got into some controversy because he's like, oh man, I wanted to really like nobody's seen like a pregnant woman like being fighting. Like,
yeah, I was sharing that thing this morning.
She's pregnant. Yeah. In the
is it so bad if I say I kind of follow his logic on that? I'm kind of
I
because he backed it up by being like, I guarantee you that civilizations at different times in history, out of necessity, out of survival, have had to have pregnant women take up arms. And I'm like, that's probably true. You know, and
you've never seen that before, and I'm going to show you with a blue woman.
He's
what a kinky bastard.
And then
blue, a cat, and pregnant, and you're gonna think it's hot. Kate Winslet pops up after 7.5 minutes of holding her. I'm like, 7.5 minutes. I actually would die. You would see. Yeah. I would bubble up to the surface a dead celebrity.
Dead and pregnant.
Can you imagine James Cameron like, oh shit, yeah, right. We've never seen them dead and pregnant before. This is a new kind of hero, one that I concocted.
As a culture.
As a culture. Well, you know what we need to see.
And also, like, streaming is trash, and this movie that I made shows you that streaming is trash.
Discord seemed a little pissed off about this comment. I was like, well, I kind of follow that. I mean, streaming is
definitely. We've been talking about how streaming's trash for the past year.
I was like, I don't really. But Dan actually pointed out something really, I thought, insightful, which was that James Cameron, across his quotes, often will use the phrase as a culture.
Yeah.
And
it's like the royal we.
Yeah.
Sure. Streaming is trash.
But if you think about it, like over the course of the last 40 years, this guy has defined an awful lot of the culture. Yeah. Titanic was insane. To me, like, I feel like both times with Avatar, the whole world came out to go see these movies, but I still feel like they were quiet. I don't get it. I continue to not get it. But Titanic was not quiet. Titanic, like transformed our school curriculum. Like, I was in middle school and like we had to learn about Titanic because the movie was out, and it went on for about 3 months. Or like we had to send like little styrofoam cups to the Titanic, and they came back and they're like, see, the water pressure crushed your cup.
Yeah, I couldn't talk to any girl in our class if it wasn't through the lens of Titanic.
Yeah. Exactly.
I thought you were going to say you couldn't.
You had to incorporate. You had to incorporate Celine Dion.
And it was kind of for everybody. I mean,
into the conversation.
I remember Leo DiCaprio was the guy to hate because of his hotness and his teen idolness. But it's good for him for growing.
You still have to.
Yeah. Well, he's grown into a sort of Wolf of Wall Street. You know, what's that one movie where he gets fucked by a bear? Revenant.
It's fucked. I didn't. There was some article with him on a boat with some bikini-clad women. I don't know.
Yeah, he's kind of flabby now, and he doesn't care. He's kind of flabby and
still
alcoholic.
Fuck these women.
Yeah, I'm still a superstar. And he catches an awful lot of shit for liking him young, huh? It is. So, you know what? I judge him for that too. As a matter of fact, I think like.
I mean, yeah, you gotta settle down,
at a certain point. Like, what are we doing here? We're pretending that we're young forever. Like there's good things about older women, you know, like excellent things. Like 23-year-olds, really? You ever met a 23-year-old?
Yeah,
I just don't get the logic. Like what? And a guy of his stature, where the guy has had, I venture to guess, a lot of sex, and I can't imagine he's like, yeah, they're just so hot. I have to. Like,
it's just like when George Clooney finally settled down, and you're just like, good for you, good job.
I think it's important. I think it's important that he shows the rest of us.
Do you guys get those adverts that George Clooney's in over there? Where he's just fucking advertising coffee all day, every day.
No, is that a UK?
Really? Yeah. There's this.
Oh man.
Yeah, there's a coffee, but he's just the fucking face of it. He's in every single advert.
Is that like when David Hasselhoff was all over Germany or whatever?
I guess it must be.
Yeah. Yeah, they get these contracts in different countries, I think, where like it'll play better or something. I don't know. Yeah, I definitely do not see George Clooney selling coffee.
Oh no,
I'm gonna look it up. In fact,
I'll make sure to send that later on.
It's like when David Lynch did coffee ads in Japan with the Twin Peaks characters.
It's called Nespresso.
That's the one.
And it's
at the end of every advert,
against a black background, almost no backlighting, a picture of, I think, a toaster or a Keurig.
That's just one of them, Frankie. He's done so many. He's been doing them for years. Every one of them ends, and he goes, Nespresso. What else?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh
I'm seeing that in the ad. Clooney's Nespresso steams ahead with 35% sales growth in the UK, and Nestle.
Oh, there we go.
So
they're just targeting your brain.
This is why we invite you on the pod, is so we can learn about this kind of thing. And it's owned by Nestle, and I think the company man taught us that Nestle owns everything.
Right.
Like
I guess so.
Way more than Chocolate Quick.
Fan of the channel.
Fan of the channel. Yeah, we got to get him on here. Imagine, maybe he'll come on with that silhouette, that stock image silhouette.
Right.
A lot of people think that the reason that big box stores are suffering is because of Amazon, but it's actually deeper than that.
Subscribe to Red Cow Entertainment on Patreon for full episodes every other week.